As an NRI, we always come as the option going back to India. It might be a retirement point, or it might be a point in the career where we feel like going back to India for serving back our family. Might be parents, or might be kids' priorities, or family priorities, or it can be a professional priority. As an NRI, we always own a first home back in India, but when we would like to shift to, or might be when we are on vacation, we would like to surely have a lavish farmhouse like we used to live in the another country, a lavish way, a bigger space, our own privacy. So every NRI has a dream deep down in his heart of having a farmland, doing some small kind of a gardening, and having a small house. It can be a small or a lavish house or a farmhouse back in India. But there is always one thing comes at the back of the mind, that is, as a NRI, can I buy agriculture land? And obviously, because of certain regulations that RBI has imposed on NRIs, that they can't buy agriculture land back in India, this was because of lot of foreign currency money was getting parked in cash in agriculture land. Because of that, this restriction was put. So, can NRI really buy agriculture land back in India? Can NRI actually buy a farmhouse back in India? Stay tuned. This is a guideline for NRIs for buying agriculture land back in India. My name is Resshma Haajite. I'm into real estate land investment. From last 13 years, I have fulfilled the dream of 1250 plus people to fulfill their dream of buying a land. So let's talk about the first fact. Can NRI actually buy land back in India? Not directly. But what is the indirect way of buying? First and foremost thing, if your spouse is not NRI, might be he or she is Indian citizen, they can obviously buy land on their name. Second, NRI can't directly buy a land, but there is a clause to it. They can always inherit a land. So, your mom or dad can buy a agriculture land and they can give you it as a gift deed, or through their will that land can be inherited by you. Third way out is your siblings can own agriculture land and that can be passed to you as a gift deed, but it attracts stamp duty. So these are the three different ways in which you can fulfill your dream of buying agriculture land or a plot for a farmhouse back in India. Now, if you decide actually you have completed this entire process and you have made up your mind that you want to have a farmhouse back in India, we'll talk more about Maharashtra, might be we'll talk more about Pune or Mumbai as one of the two foremost priorities for a lot of NRIs to settle back in India. So if you're looking to buy a farmhouse or agriculture land near Pune or Mumbai, the basic challenge a lot of NRIs face, first challenge is legalities of the land. Whenever it comes as agriculture land, you always feel like, how am I going to understand this land is going to be legal? Normally, when anybody buys non-agriculture land, or there is a RERA certificate, or there is a bank loan approval on it. But for agriculture land, none of this is available. And obviously, as an individual, if you are going to buy agriculture land, there might be a lot of litigation issues, property legality issues that might happen. That's the first and foremost challenge a lot of NRIs face. Second challenge that a lot of NRIs feel, because I'm NRIs, I might get a land at a higher cost. So you can't guess what is the land rate in the particular area. though you do a lot of search on different property portals back in India and you come out with a particular rate, still there is no MRP in real estate, especially on agricultural land. There is no MRP. So in the same area, somebody is selling a land at 10 lakh rupees acre, another person might be selling at 20 lakh rupees a acre. So you are confused with whether am I getting cheated in terms of a land prices back in India? This is the second challenge that a lot of NRIs face, and they feel like, let's not go into this detail and buy a farmland. Third challenge that a lot of NRI face is development cost. Some of them actually check a legality, buy a land, but it happens so they got a land suppose at 50 lakh rupees a acre, but land might not have a road access, it might not have access to electricity, getting water, electricity, road and security, everything combined together, it might cost for the person around 20 lakh rupees for that entire piece of land of an acre. So when he was buying a land, he was not aware of, might be this can be the major development cost that occurs. And sometimes people give up at that point because of a local issues in the market. They might not get electricity, they might not get water, and they feel like, I cannot complete this, let me just keep the project on hold. Some people might construct their own farmhouse. They buy legally clear title land, they actually do everything development. But when it finally comes for actually staying there, coming there, or when they are not back in India, they have to have a very higher maintenance cost because they have to keep minimum 3 resources in their farmhouses. Might be security guard, a maid, a cook. So obviously, keeping 3 resources, if the property is not properly rentable, it becomes really a financial headache, as well as coordinating with all of them also become a very relatively comparable challenge because NRIs are not back in India. They can't every time go back and check what is happening on the property. Is it rightly utilized or not? So these are the major 4 challenges that a lot of NRIs face. Now let's see what is the actual solution for each of this problem. First challenge is a legal issue, and I always say to each of the client, whether you are buying a small piece of land of 1000 square feet or you are buying a lavish agricultural land in acres, you should appoint a lawyer for it. And major documents that lawyer also goes through is search title, because of which you get to know that which all kinds of transactions that has already happened on the property. Second, that is a Satbara, because of which you get to know who is the current owner. Are there any liabilities currently on the land? And third document, that is zone certificate, which is most important because lot of agriculture lands, on them construction is not allowed if they are into certain zones. So these 3 documents have to be checked: search title, Satbara and zone certificate. Best way, appoint a good property lawyer and listen to his advice. Second challenge we talk about is the cost of land back in India, especially if you consider farmhouse or agriculture lands near Pune. Cost differentiation is too much, but understand the cost differentiation is basically on 2 important factors. First is the location of the land. Location, whether there is a good road connectivity. Second thing, is there any government plan that is happening in that area? There might be PMRDA, MMRDA, a ring road happening, or is it close to some development point of view of the city? Then obviously land prices would be higher. And second most important point, because of which sometimes land cost is higher, is the view that land gives. Because a lot of people buy agriculture land only from the perspective of having a naturistic view, water facing, dam view, or having an entire greenery, or having a hills around. This also increases the land cost. So might be there can be a difference of half of the rate if this view is not there. So take this also into consideration. Third challenge we talked about is a development cost, that is water, electricity, road and the security. Now most of the time when you are buying a land, if all these things are available, it's better. Normally if you go for a gated community buying, in that case these things are by default available. The cost of the development is already added on the plot. But if you're thinking I want to buy a plot independently, not into gated community, please calculate the cost of development into your cost of land acquisition only. So you might be saying, I'm getting a land at 70 lakh rupees acre, development cost is going to be 20 lakh. So total cost is 90 lakh rupees acre. So as per that, you would be mentally ready for the development cost from day one. And the best solution, buy into gated community, because already these things have been worked out by professionals there. And fourth point we talked about is maintenance cost. Maintenance can be keeping resources. So it's always better to have your farmhouse in gated community, because in gated farmhouse community, you get lot of resource sharing. You might get a maid or a cook on an hourly basis, and you just have to pay a day before to them when you're coming back to India, getting your entire farmhouse ready. So it might be like your cost of maintenance reduced a lot because of resource sharing. So these are the four important key things that you are going to remember if you are buying land back in Pune for your farmhouse. Consider the part of a location. Get it at the fantastic location nearby, having a dam view. Work on the costing part at actual, depend on what views the land have. Development cost, do calculate when you are buying itself. And cost of maintenance, make sure that you buy in farmhouse gated community where your rest of the resources also get shared. Now certain facts about the farmhouse industry back in India. Airbnb and bookings.com, these are the two major technology portals which are pumping a huge amount of money back in India for renting out farmhouses. On one of our site itself, one of the clients have constructed 6 months before a simple 1 RK, and she started renting it out. It's now been renting for 17 odd days out of 30 days, and the rental for weekdays is 2,500, weekends it's 3,500. In 6 months, she has already recovered her cost of construction. Farmhouse industry post-COVID is increasing at a very heavy and a major stake taking back in real estate, because a lot of people are not staying back in 7-star or 5-star hotels. They want private farmhouses. So if you are NRI and thinking of a second line of income from real estate, might be just having a residential flat back in India as an investment would not work. This is a time for you to invest back in India in farmhouse. If you're looking for any kind of a guidance on farmhouse investment, farmhouse lands nearby Pune, I would be happy to help you.